For some reason when you said Dutchland, I was replacing Young Man in the YMCA song for Dutchland. Hello everyone, yeah, USA Civil War is a bit better balanced, but still pretty one-sided. I do like that the PSA and AUS allied against the CSA when CSA looked like they were getting the upper hand. I thought that was a really nice touch. Does Dutchland form if the Netherlands adopts national populace? No, it's when it forms a... What's it called? It's not benevolent dictatorship, it's benevolent monarchy. Paternal autocrat, that's the one. Which basically means benevolent autocracy. A benevolent king? Basically Frederick the Great, it was his style of government. Benevolent dictatorship. Australasian Confederation has joined the Entente. Oh, they had a coup! Shocking news from the Australasian Confederation. There's the Australasian Guard, a group of right-wing authoritarians who've long criticised the Australasian government for not going far enough in its suppression of syndicalism, and who lost their recent electoral bid by a fair margin, have seized control of the government. Led by Field Marshal Thomas Blamey, the new government immediately promised that the Australasian Confederation would do whatever it took to stamp out syndicalism within Australasia. Blamey also stated Australasia would dedicate itself fully to the Entente Alliance, as a proud and loyal member of the British Empire. Demonstrations have already broken out across the nation, and thus Australasia faces an uncertain and likely unstable future. Oh, something sank. Here? No. Where was that report? That one. No. That one? Don't know. Decisions available. War propaganda against the Commune of France. This will cost me 25 political power and give me weekly war support plus 1%. I did do this math once before, but I don't remember exactly how much it was. So, weekly war support 1 is 90 days. 90 divided by 7 equals 12. So that's basically 12% war support for 25. Or... yeah, that one is cheap. I think you can only do propaganda once against every nation or something like that. Was thinking about getting the Sabaton DLC for Fortifying 4. Are they any good, or do they seem misplaced, like playing Ghost Division in peacetime? I mean, you can disable the songs during peace if you want. If you like Sabaton, you may as well. I can't say I haven't actually played with Sabaton on, because that's extremely copyright, and I tend to play Hearts of Iron only on streams, which I just haven't been able to. But I'm a massive fan of Sabaton. I saw them live a couple of years ago. They were awesome. So if I was playing this off stream, then yes, I probably would. Plus, just supporting Sabaton is a good idea, because, yeah, they're awesome. Which reminds me, I need to watch more of the Sabaton History channel. Sabaton teamed up with Indian Idol and his team to do, like, a history where they explore the history of all the songs they did, like Ghost Division and Polish one. I'm terrible with song names. Where they talk about the history behind what happened, which influenced the song, and then also what happened when they actually wrote the song and when they played it live and stuff like that in those countries. It's really good. Sabaton is so gloriously silly you can't help but like them. Uprising, that was it. Want them to do songs for the Mongols in Rome. It's not a bad idea. Ooh, what? Something happened here. Oh, hello! We sank 6... oh no, they sank 6 transports. I'm quite pleased that I've diverted all of my shipping through this way. One of my favourite features of Man the Guns is definitely the ability to turn off areas, so you're not sending ships through that. $40-1. Yeah, Uprising is another Polish one, but it's 40-1 is the one that they actually talked about. You're quite right, Cold Rage. Thank you. screw YouTube and VODs. I would love to, but YouTube does still comprise a decent, although not actually that good, a percentage of my revenue, and of that revenue, probably about 90% is from Hearts of Iron. Like, Hearts of Iron is what keeps that channel alive. It still gets 6 or 7 times more views than basically any other series that I do. How do you turn off shipping? So if you click on the region and you see these icons, you can just click on that to filter through. So this one means everyone can sail through it. This means convoys cannot, but fleets will. And this one means absolutely nobody goes through this land, or through these sea regions. So I've just turned those to, like, avoid, which means convoys will try to avoid that if they can, and they'll path around it instead. And it is super useful, especially if you can see where enemy submarines are active. The French are actually beating the Spanish right now, which doesn't make me very happy. And it does look like the CSA is pushing back. They've secured Florida, and they're moving into Alabama, Mississippi. Where's Louisiana? Is that one further across? Aha. I'm fairly good at American geography, but those southern states I can never remember. Basically anything west of Florida up to Texas, I'm like... I know which they are, I just couldn't tell you which order. Speaking of which, Polish War Cemetery in the Netherlands has winged hussar icons in the gravestones. Feels so bad for those young boys who never saw the lands liberated. Yeah, the Poles put up a hell of a fight, actually, even once Poland itself had fallen. Like, a large portion of the pilots in the Battle of Britain were Polish. Jedi Lawyer, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. And it's great seeing so many of you here. Welcome. Hello. Okay, so we are now getting some manpower. Not a huge amount, but some, so we could start shipping troops out. I think we are going to get Jaeger troops because they increase the division attack and division speed. The Jaeger troops, which have been indispensable during the Finnish Civil War alongside many former Jaegers going on to become top officers within the army, have shown themselves to be of the utmost quality. We must place an emphasis on these troops and on advancing the Jaeger program so as to continue the development of a corps of the well-trained Finnish soldiers. Well, alright then. And now, of course, half of you need to be re-drilled. Can be arranged. And actually, speaking of drilling, is there anything else that I could be adding? Like, ooh, I don't know, recon companies. Except this is going to cost me manpower, isn't it? Oh well. Now my units are about as good as they're going to get until I can get rocket artillery, I think. Oh, now you're saying that you're not actually trained properly. Come on, make up your mind. Recon Company 2s. Just in time. And more research. It is now 1940. So we're already working on that. Perfect. Better guns. Is there anything else that I need in 1940 before I go on to the better guns? Doctrine still being worked on. Yes, better art. You know what? That was defense, isn't it? It is. We'll go with that. Now, who's doing the attacking and defending here? This looks like it's mostly the Germans attacking out into France. So France is on the defensive at the moment, which does make sense because the French are horrifically outnumbered. Personally, I just like Kaiserreich because my current hometown's finally a victory point, so you can hire a local company, Cushman, as the federal government to build your motorized equipment. Interesting. Gotta love the Poles in Italy who move the ammo. Oh, yeah, gotta love the Poles in Italy who, to move the ammo for the machine guns, they had the company mascot, who was a live bear. And he's referenced. There's an artillery bonus which you can get if you get an Easter egg or something, which is that bear, and he becomes a commander or something like that. I don't know exactly how it works. Ooh, we're stinking convoys. Excellent. We're helping. Private Nodulski reporting for duty. Sa! Wojciech the bear, that's it. Never drops a crate. Poland's one of the nicest trees in Europe, in your opinion, in Kaiserreich. It's alright. Who would I prefer? Germany's. Although Germany's could definitely do with a bit of an overhaul. Austria's could do with an overhaul. Sardinia. I really like Sardinia. And 2 Sicilies is really good. And Ireland. In fact, if we're talking about European ones, Ireland. That bear is real. Yeah, absolutely. Look it up. He indeed was a World War mascot. The Canadian Commonwealth has declared war on the West Indies Union. What? The nation that I'm going to play with at some point. Probably. Except they don't get the fancy hat man anymore. I want my ridiculous admiral's hat. They went communist. Boo. Ah, Russia. You keep on sending troops to this border. Go and get involved in a different war. Russia has a Lend-Lease policy with... Oh, Russia's actually Lend-Leasing Germany. Which means I think it's less likely that they'll declare on me. So I think I might start preparing my forces for a German intervention. Or maybe a Spanish intervention. Although that would mean getting there. I mean, there are still definitely skirmishes going on in the English Channel, but I suspect that's going to be mostly submarines at this point. Okay, let's do this. We're going to go and help out the Spaniards. So let's set up a line here. In fact, no, this is the line that needs to be retaken. So let's set up a line here with the intentions of retaking Pyrenees. Canadian Commonwealth has declared war on the Union of Britain. Here it is. The Entente is now at war with the Communists. How many ships are in here? 156 friendly ships. So we should be pretty good. Australasian confederations joined the Kingdom of Hawaii. Hawaii is calling in everyone. The Russian Republic has gone to war with Georgia. Sweet Georgia. Bye-bye, Stalin. Never played Kaiserreich as Ireland. How is it? It has one of the most ridiculous focus trees in the game. Like, the person who did Ireland went all out. Like, it's really, really good. Lots of internal stuff to do, not a lot once the Well Creek breaks out. I seem to remember being very active in my Ireland game. Probably not as much as, say, Sardinia, but still pretty active. What the hell, that bear was funny. He can drink beer and salute on command, even smoke cigarettes. Yeah, he was a crazy bear. Is Stalin the leader of Georgia in this? No, he's just one of the random ministers in Georgia. If they even kept him around. Doesn't look like they did. Oh no, here we go. There he is. Josip B. Zhugashvili. Which apparently is Joseph Stalin's real name, because Stalin actually just means man of steel. Okay, 1940, I think I'm going to get the improved infantry equipment. Cool to... hang on. Hang on. Allies, Georgia. Enemies, Russia. Hang on! Guys! Come back! We need you over here! If I cancel that, we are going to try and hold like this area. And we're going to take out Petrograd. Alright, so we need to make sure that these guys get back and actually start to fortify. This is going to be interesting to see what happens, because we have a huge bonus to defense on core. And with the really high war support, we have even more defense on core. And my troops are just built for defense anyway. So I'm very curious to see what happens here. Russian Republic declared war on Turkestan Khanate. Oh, that's going to relieve quite a lot of pressure on my side. Just need my forces to get back home. And you guys are still on defensive stance. I think I'm going to pull the fleet back and have you active. In the Baltics. What? Why not? Ah, that's why. Alright, we got there, eventually. We'll be ready for this war in just a moment. And now the real game begins. Yeah, exactly. I've always heard of this game but never really looked into it. Is this like Total War? How does it work? It's like the strategic layer of Total War. Like, the battles you don't fight in tactical battles. Instead, you just have everything on the main map like this. The best example would be, I'd say probably here in Spain, where you can see all the different units and the different types, and they're all allocated to different parts of the main line. So this is France versus Spain at the moment, and you can see the battles going on. You can choose how your armies are equipped. You're in charge of the economy. You can choose where to build factories and railroads and stuff like that. What guns to produce. Speaking of guns, I need to upgrade what I'm building. And I think I also need to buy in some more goods. In fact, I am very short on steel. So, hey, Germany, how about sending me some of those juicy iron ingots, steel ingots? And you're about to see me as Finland fighting against Russia, so this is going to be interesting. We have prioritized the Jaeger troops. How about this total defense? I think this might be useful. Defense plus 5%, division defense on core territory plus 10%. Let's do that. Thankfully, most of my troops are still acclimatized. I'm just worried about this northern sector, like there is no way I can hold on to that. Let's see how far north we can actually go before this line goes. There. No, I don't like it. Oops. Defend up to here. Now, how many provinces is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'd say it's 9 up to here. So you guys, new unit. And you are going to be in charge of a full-back line, which is not going to go from there. It's going to go from here to here. So that's one province, right? Yep, that's just one province. So we'll say 2 guys can go in that bit, and then the other 4 can go on that bit, and then this line is going only as far as I need you to go. Okay. And then you need a new general, who also needs to be somebody defensive or just somebody good with infantry. Artillery officer. We do have a lot of artillery. Entrenchment speed could be useful. Infantry officer and infantry expert. I mean, the best defensive guy would be Tuompo. Cavalry officer, which isn't really what I need. So are you. So I think that Tuompo is going to be my man. Although Pajari is just better in pretty much every other way. So we'll go Pajari. So my plan here is we're just giving up on northern Finland. If Sweden wants to come in and try and defend that, they can, but I'm just going to defend like this southern section, which is where all my industry and stuff is anyway. Is it turn-based? No, it's real-time, so you can see the time moving up here. I'm currently on maximum speed, so it's not normally this fast. Because we're still like in the setup phase. Because we're not actually at war yet. Am I going to take northern Sweden for that island? Iron. No, I'm allied to Sweden. Fighting, is it rock, paper, scissors? Not really. You do need to choose units to try and counter them. So like if you see a lot of armor on the field, then you want anti-tank. Also somewhat depends on your research choices. So you have what are called doctrines, where you can choose how you want your army to fight, because we're on superior firepower, which means lots of artillery. So we have a lot of big cannons. Just going to double check there are no holes in your line. Nope, that's all looking good. And now I just need to wait for their entrenchments to be finished, and then I will join this war. There's that one dude who's not quite trained, so I'm going to train him for like a day. Otherwise that's going to annoy me. Hello, train. Thank you. Although now I'm doing this, he's not entrenching. There we go, he's trained. Back into that army. You can entrench with all the others. And we fought a battle. 3 submarines sunk. Excellent. So my escorts are actually doing a job. Excellent. Although we are running out of oil very rapidly. So I think we're going to buy in a little bit of oil from the American Union State. Just to make sure that my ships can stay out. And that's going to replenish my fuel supplies pretty nicely. Sunk a bunch of transports up there. Very nearly ready. Very nearly ready. No, that's not a hole. How does diplomacy work? Diplomacy is pretty basic. It's a World War II simulator. So you can do things like boost ideologies or increase opinions, join factions. That's about it, though. It's definitely not in the same depth as Three Kingdoms. I love the fact that I can use Three Kingdoms as like a high bar for diplomacy now. Oh, such a good feeling. Okay, I think we are ready. Yeah, I think we're ready. Oh, Sweden. I will accept your call to arms, Sweden. I will accept your Austrian volunteers. I will accept your non-aggression pacts. I don't know who you guys are trying to call me into. Okay, so we are now at war with Russia. So all Russia has to do now is attack me. Except they don't seem to want to... Oh no, here we go. They're attacking. They're attacking my one unit that I was a little bit concerned about. He's technically an elite, but is a very small unit. Right, and also you can level up. You can get infantry expert or ambusher. We're going to make you an ambusher so we can get even more entrenchment. I should have done that before the war actually broke out, but never mind. How are you doing? You... the guy I just promoted? No, you already had it. Okay. So you're both ambushers now. So far so good. My destroyers are going to be fighting Russian submarines because I am going to be reliant on the Baltic to get supplies in. However, my own submarines are also active in the Baltic, so we might see some Russian submarines being sunk too. Do you think you could take Petrograd? Give it a go. I could just take the Russian capital, like right now. Okay, so we've got the improved computing machines. Let's get decryption so we can continue having an electronic warfare superiority. We lost a convoy against Russian subs. I'm kind of glad that Russia did declare here. It gives France a chance, because now Germany's fighting on two fronts. Because Germany's already pushing into France right now. And it even looks like Spain's pushing back against the French. Two Sicilies doesn't seem to have changed, but this is just like one really militarized border. This is like the DMZ in Korea. Massive forts, massive armies, and neither firing a shot. 3 divisions of the Austrian Empire have arrived. Excellent. The fall of Petrograd. The great Russian city built by Peter the Great was captured today. Russian defenders initially held back the Finnish army across the Neva River, but a few days ago these positions finally fell. Now, sustained cannon fire on the Vasilevsky Island has put the last defenders out of their misery. Some military tacticians say that, with proper defence, the city could have held out for years, but the Finnish momentum carried them through the city far faster than that. The Finnish army soldiers are using the palace square as a staging ground for moving throughout the rest of the city, and there are rumours that Finnish soldiers are taking celebratory tours through the Great Museum of Artillery, confident they'll put their own mark in the military history of the Russian Republic. The blow to Russian morale will be severe, and I do want to take that last province that I hold onto the river. Because we didn't actually push across the Neva River, we attacked from the other side. Okay, so you guys have no more orders, so hold at that point. I've basically achieved all of my objectives. Well done. Let's take Novgorod. And... oh, good grief, Petrograd has a lot of shipyards. I went from 1 shipyard to 8. Interesting. Well, I think... what do I want? Submarines? Destroyers are probably a little bit too expensive for me to build many of, but submarines we can absolutely do. Then let's have those put into Nyland. And we shall work on it from there. In fact, let's build one more convoy and then switch everything to naval production. And then some more steel from the Germans. Maybe one more. Because we probably did just steal a bunch of factories from Petrograd. Yes, we did. Awesome. And let's upgrade the infrastructure of Petrograd too, so that we can keep it upgraded. The Finnish shipyards of freedom!